The NFL offseason, it's nice, but what it does is it deprives us the opportunity to chat weekly with Nick Eatman, who covers the Cowboys, has for a couple decades for the Dallas website. Nick, it's a pleasure right around draft time here to be joined by you.
I appreciate it. We can talk every week if we want to. I don't know what all we'd be talking about, but we definitely can chat it up about something. But
there you go.
No, you're right. It's good to be back and really, especially this draft. And we've been talking about this draft since before the season ended, because it was time to talk. You wanted to talk about something, in draft. So we've been kind of dissecting this, and it's at the point now where you've talked about everything. Maybe they'll trade for a guard. Just everything on the table, possibly. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
Well, that in mind, coming off what was obviously an injury-riddled 6-win campaign, as we know, and this draft coming into focus, Dallas sitting at number 10 right now. I suppose trades are a possibility, and we can go there, but provided they stay at number 10, other than you want a BA, we've talked about that a few times, who do you think makes the most sense as you have taken a dive into the prospects?
I'm probably a little different than what I think the team's going to be. It's always this thing of, you want to be right. Everybody loves to be right. So you're picking what you think the Cowboys will do. I think the Cowboys will take one of the two cornerbacks available, between Patrick SURTAIN and J.C. Horn. I almost said Joe Horn for some reason, but his dad, but J.C. Horn. That's what I think will happen. I'm probably taking Micah Parsons out of Penn State if he's there. Again, you don't know that 8, 9, 10, you don't really know how all that's going to happen there. But because the quarterbacks will be involved. Not only are they taken early, but quarterbacks are going to be involved for potential trades. But, if you're talking about a BA, I like Micah Parsons there. But I don't think they can go wrong if they end up with SURTAIN, Horn, or Parsons. That gives them a defensive player they can plug right in and start.
I'm glad you brought up SURTAIN. Of course, Patrick SURTAIN, the corner out of Alabama, and you look at most mocks and it's a dart throw. It's a guessing game. We know how this works. Like you said, it'd be nice to be right. Most people, though, just taking their best stab at it, trying to put their minds in the heads of the Dallas brass, Jerry Jones, among others. And SURTAIN he does seem to be the most frequent player we see mocked to Dallas right now. Do you like that fit?
Yeah, I think it's a good fit, because I think he comes right in and he's able to start. Like I said, I don't know if he's you call him the safest pick. I just think he's polished. You don't call him a raw player. He's come in from Alabama, and where he's played up with a lot of really good players. They had Trayvon Diggs from Alabama last year, and he had a really good rookie season. And so I think if it's SURTAIN. Yeah, I mean, what more could you want than a guy that's played in big games? He's coached well. His dad was a really good player in the league, so he's learned it, played this position. So I think it's a solid pick. It may not be the most wow pick, but that's okay. 6 and 10 was wow the other way. Why don't you start getting some really good players in here? And I think he would be one of those.
You shouted out Micah Parsons, linebacker, is obviously a potential fit if he's available there, and a guy that you really like for the Cowboys at number 10. And as we know, Sean Lee, linebacker, retiring after 11 years with Dallas. So it just speaks to the greater need of needing to rebuild defensively, especially after what we saw last year. Positionally speaking, what is Dallas's greatest need right now?
It's definitely on defense, and you can make the argument on, is it secondary? Is it linebacker? Is it pass rush? They just didn't have enough difference makers. That's what it comes down to. They just don't have enough players that can go up there and make plays. And it's tough. That may be not answering your question, because it's difficult without knowing exactly what Dan Quinn's going to do and what kind of defensive style he's going to bring. So that isn't easy to really dissect. But they need difference makers, and that's why I like Parsons. That's what I think he can bring to the defense there. Every time I've seen highlights, again, I don't study it, but when I see highlights, he's not easy to block. And I understand you're not playing against Minnesota and Purdue and Iowa all the time. I get it, but he makes a difference, and so they just need difference makers. And those three guys that I mentioned on secondary linebacker, they seem like that they would be good fits.